don't own any investments. But please notice, in each of those cases, the only thing I said was that I didn't own those things. I didn't say that I didn't have any of those things. The fact is that my new foundation trust owns those things, and that trust was written to benefit me and my family. So the assets are available for my use. But because I don't own them, they're simply not subject to risk as a result of the lender's lawsuit against me. And the reality is that the better protected my assets are, the lender becomes less and less likely to pursue the lawsuit anyway, because they know that their judgment won't be worth the paper it's printed on. Now, one thing you could do instead of getting the new foundation trust is to go to the bookstore and buy a book about trusts, and you could use the standard trust that's in the book. Or you could go to LegalZoom and pay for a stock trust from them. Good luck and God bless you. What's probable is that when the rubber meets the road, you'll end up spending a large amount of money on legal fees only to find out that the standard trust you're using simply doesn't protect you. For example, did you know that you cannot form a trust yourself if you want it to really protect you? Did you know that if you have exclusive and sole management authority over your trust, that you've substantially increased your risk of a court order that can force you to liquidate your trust? Did you know that if your trust is formed in the wrong way, there will be severe and irreparable tax consequences as long as you use that trust? Did you know that all of those issues, and many more, are handled entirely and correctly by the new foundation trust? Are you tempted to set up a corporation, LLC, or other business entity instead of using a trust? After all, those things are a lot more familiar to most people than a trust is. Watch out. If you establish a corporation or business entity and are sued, your ownership of that entity can be taken from you, and you'll lose everything you placed inside the entity in one fell swoop. They won't even have to take separate action to get your house and your bank account and your car. If your corporation owns all those things, they'll just have to take the corporation, and then they own it all. So don't do that. Now, that's one of the things that's so cool about a trust. You don't actually own it. You're just a beneficiary. In a very real legal sense, you don't have ownership of the trust, so your interest in the trust is secure, unlike if you transferred assets into a business entity that you do own. Now, with the new Foundation Trust, you'll receive more than a dozen different concise and effective video training sessions, each of which are under 10 minutes, that will teach you exactly how to customize the new Foundation Trust for your own use. Sure, you'll need to have your own attorney and tax advisor review the new Foundation Trust. That's just common sense, and when they do, you should expect their jaws to hit the floor in amazement. The new Foundation Trust is the type of thing that would easily cost you $5,000 to $15,000 if you went to a highly competent attorney like Tim Berry to have it drafted. And it would be worth every penny, even of that large fee. After all, the example we've used in this training uses very realistic numbers, and in that judgment, you'd find yourself facing a judgment of $75,000 plus income taxes. And of course, your new Foundation Trust cannot guarantee that your lender won't sue you for a deficiency. Nobody can give that guarantee except your lender. But what can happen with proper use of your new Foundation Trust is that such judgments become financially irrelevant. Most of the time, the response to a judgment by a person who has substantial legal protection, such as a new Foundation Trust, is to simply ignore the judgment. After a while, the judgment disappears anyway and no longer has any real legal power. And in the meantime, you get to use and enjoy the assets inside of your new Foundation Trust all the same. The more you can focus the ownership of all your assets inside your new Foundation Trust, the more you're going to appear as an undesirable target to your lender or to any other creditors. So go over right now to newfoundationtrust.com/special. Reserve your copy of the new Foundation Trust document and training right now, and take advantage of the very deep discount and special offer that's available only to the first 25 people from this webinar. And for your information, many of those first 25 spots have already been taken. And once we get to the 25 limit, you can still buy it, but it'll be the normal price of $1,295, and you won't get the bonuses. So go over right now to newfoundationtrust.com/special to learn about that very deep discount and get in while you can be one of the first 25 people. Now, the new Foundation Trust package includes these important items. It includes the new Foundation Trust template document, It includes video training series, 15 plus no-nonsense videos that fully explain the New Foundation Trust, how to customize it, and how to use it. And for the first 25 of you, there are some bonus guides that we include, including Foreclosure in the Real World that explains the real process of foreclosure, how it works before and after the fact. The Good Faith Guide to Strategic Default for those of you who are considering strategic default. And the most common and easily avoidable errors for users of the New Foundation Trust. Those 3 bonuses are critically valuable and are only available for the first 25 people who go to newfoundationtrust.com/special. It's really quite simple. You download the document, you watch the instructional video, and then you know how to fill in the blanks on your trust. At that point, it's ready for review by your legal counsel and then immediate usage. And the sooner you get your trust set up, the better off you'll be. Simply put, the sooner your assets are separated from you using the right legal strategy, the safer your family's financial assets will be. Look, the bottom line is that you didn't plan to have to deal with a mortgage default. But since this issue has the high probability of chasing you for years into the future, then you'll be throwing away everything you've rebuilt and will build in the future if you choose to leave your assets open to attack later on. The New Foundation Trust is very affordably priced at $1,295 under normal circumstances, but there's a very deep discount available right now at newfoundationtrust.com/special. The discount is available to only the first 25 people from this webinar, many of which are already taken, so go on over there. You can buy the New Foundation Trust for $1,295 at any time, but the big discount available right now won't be around very long, so take advantage. And by the way, if you go over to newfoundationtrust.com/special, there will be a notice on there that indicates if you are too late. So if you go there and there is not a notice in large red letters at the top of the screen that says you're too late, that means you're still in time to get the special offer. I'd like to point out that the New Foundation Trust offers some other huge benefits too, not the least of which is that it can form the entire foundation for estate planning for your family. The flexibility with this tool is endless. Do you fear a lawsuit from some other party? Are you and a business partner experiencing conflict, or do you anticipate a divorce? The New Foundation Trust is, quite simply, a powerful and overwhelmingly flexible tool to use in each of the aforementioned precarious situations, with the advice of your lawyer, of course. Remember, from the Washington Post, while deficiency judgments are not really a problem right now for people who are getting foreclosed today, this foreclosure attorney can see it being a big problem in the future. So 7 years from now, when my client has recovered from his foreclosure, he's got a job again, he's saved up enough money. From the bank's perspective, that would be a great time for the bank to try to sue them. Now, if your foreclosure was in the past, then you are right now at the point where, from the bank's perspective, it could be a great time for them to try to sue you. Now, we're basically done. And I'd like to thank those of you who have already chosen to get involved with the New Foundation Trust. Regardless of whether you went through standard foreclosure, a short sale, a deed in lieu, strategic default, or any other foreclosure variation, please understand this. Default does not erase your mortgage deficiency. It makes that debt larger and your legal challenges substantially greater. And I respectfully submit to you that there's no better way to prepare yourself for that risk and to mitigate it almost entirely than through the proper use of the New Foundation Trust. Take action right now. Go over to www.newfoundationtrust.com/special and reserve your copy of the New Foundation Trust document and training right now. Take advantage of the special pricing while it's still available to you. There are a few of those 25 available right now at this time. So go get one if you are interested. newfoundationtrust.com/special. Thank you for your time.